There are no better bulk deals or rock-bottom prices at Costco, which is why millions of smart buyers love it. The harsh truth is that not everything in that huge building is a deal. Some Costco items are actually cleverly disguised money traps that make people think they're saving a lot of money when they're really just losing it. Some things on those shelves should never make it into your cart, whether it's because they're of poor quality, have sneaky prices, or go bad before you can even use them. And I'm sure you've fallen for at least one of them. What's really shocking, though, is that most people already have this bad thing in their fridge. You will never look at it the same way again once you know what it is. Keep reading because these mistakes might cost you more than you think. Also, please do me a favor and hit that like button before we start. It only takes seconds and helps this movie reach shoppers like you who are smart about what they buy. Also, click the subscribe button and turn on alerts if you like to save money and not throw things away. To start, let's talk about a Costco item that has made a lot of customers angry. Number 10. Windshield wipers. It might look like Costco's windshield wipers are a great deal, but they're not. You might lose a lot more than you think when you try to save money this way. A huge number of drivers have said that these wipers wear out incredibly quickly, sometimes in just a few weeks or months. They don't give you clear, smooth vision when you need it the most. Instead, they skip, smear, and even come apart. Now picture this. You tried to save some money, so now you're stuck in a sudden rainstorm with a streaky window that makes it hard to see. You will not only lose all the money you spent on the deal, but you could also hurt yourself. And a smart buyer should never skimp on safety. Instead of buying wipers from Costco, you should buy a good set from a well-known name like Bosch or Rain-X. It's made so that these names will last through many seasons, working perfectly in heavy rain and freezing temperatures. The trick is to wait for sales at big box car stores or shop online at places like Amazon, where you can often find high-quality wipers for about the same price as Costco's but that will last a lot longer. It's not a deal if the cheap wiper breaks when you need it the most. It's a disaster waiting to happen. The 9th one is Kirkland's signature cream cheese. When it comes to cream cheese, you need good quality. It's not a nice to have. The cheaper Kirkland's version might make you want to buy it, but many people later wish they hadn't. What's wrong with it? People often say that Kirkland's cream cheese is chalky, grainy, and strangely stiff, not the rich, creamy smoothness that you'd expect. Taste. It doesn't have the perfect mix of tangy and creamy that makes good cream cheese irresistible. As a result, a spread that doesn't taste good and is made in a lab. Imagine putting this on a hot bread and it breaking up into pieces instead of melting into a smooth, delicious layer. Or even worse, using it in a cheesecake recipe and finding that the finished dessert doesn't have the rich, smooth texture that makes home-baked treats so tasty. The smarter move? People who have shopped for a long time know the truth. Philadelphia cream cheese is the best. Do not settle for a poor substitute if you want the perfect creamy texture and strong, real taste. It's not worth giving up taste, structure, and quality to save a few cents. 8. Buy a lot of fresh garlic. You won't really save much with this deal. It's just a trick that will waste your money. Even though garlic is an important part of any food, it doesn't last forever. If you're not cooking for a big family or running a restaurant, most of the cloves will shrink, bud, or grow mold before you can use them all. When garlic gets old, its taste gets weaker, and it stops being as tasty as it used to be. By the time you get to the last few bulbs, you won't even be able to smell the strong, fresh garlic flavor that makes it so important for cooking. And let's be honest, who wants to ruin a home-cooked meal with weak, old garlic because they bought it in bulk? You can pick up smaller amounts of garlic at a local farmer's market or food store, where the bulbs are firm and fresh and will last longer. This way, you save money, get the most taste, and don't waste anything. Because the truth is that how much you use is more important than how much you buy. You're not saving if you throw away half of what you buy. You're losing. The 7th one is Kirkland's signature whole milk. It might seem like a good idea to buy milk in bulk, but for most shoppers, Costco's 2-gallon packs are more of a hassle than a deal. There's a good chance you won't finish both gallons of milk before they go bad, expire, or smell bad. Why is it not a good deal? Lost money equals spoiled milk. Putting money down the drain is the last thing you want to do. Unexpected trips to the store. We had to make more trips to the store because we ran out of fresh milk before we thought we would. Lost recipes. It's awful to find out that your milk has gone bad right before you bake or cook. Also, don't think that freezing milk will help. It is scientifically possible for frozen milk to separate, but it does so in a way that makes it unpleasant to drink or cook with. At a regular food store, buy milk in single-gallon containers. They are easier to handle and keep the milk fresh until the very end. That way, you won't have to rush to use up extra milk, waste food, or feel bad about buying in bulk when it seemed like a good idea at the time. Because a deal that makes you throw away food isn't really a deal at all. The sixth one is Kikkoman soy sauce. A huge 1.89-liter bottle of Kikkoman soy sauce from Costco looks like a great deal at first glance. Soy sauce does go bad after a while though. Even though it doesn't go bad, the taste slowly gets worse after being opened. The once strong, salty, umami-rich depth starts to fade after being exposed to air, humidity, and light for a long time. What began as an addition to your food's taste turns into something bland, lifeless, and flat. You won't even taste the thing that was meant to make your food taste better after half of the bottle. It's not a good idea to buy soy sauce in bulk unless you cook Asian food every day. Stronger, more recent tastes will always come from a smaller bottle that has just been opened. This will make sure that every dish has the rich, savory depth it needs. Let's be honest, a cheap bottle that's too big isn't a deal if it makes your food bad. Number 5. Clothes from Costco. Costco is the best place to get deals on food, home goods, and more in bulk. But that attitude of looking for deals can backfire when it comes to clothes. At first glance, Kirkland brand clothing seems like a great deal. However, many buyers quickly regret their choice when they see what they actually got. Why it's a bad buy. The cloth isn't very good and doesn't last after a few washes. Clothes lose their shape, colors fade, and joints come apart. What looked like a good buy ends up in the trash or, worse, the gift pile after a few months. The smarter move? Instead of buying clothes in bulk, go to big stores like Macy's, Target, or outlet malls and look for name brand things that are on sale. A lot of the time, these shops have big sales on good fabrics, so you can get clothes that last without spending a lot of money. Buying well-made clothes instead of cheap ones that are worn out every season will keep your closet together for years, not months. At the end of the day, something isn't a deal if you must keep buying new ones. Number 4. Top-quality steaks. There's no question that Costco's burgers are good. A lot of people, though, make the mistake of thinking that Costco always has the best deals. There are prime and choice cuts at Costco, but you can find the same or even better meat at many neighborhood grocery stores and butcher shops for less money, especially during sales. Even worse, many Costco buyers don't know they're paying too much because they think that buying in bulk always means a better deal. In fact, you might be paying a lot of money for a steak that you could get somewhere else for a lot less. Before going straight to Costco, you should always check prices elsewhere. The cuts at local butcher shops are usually fresher, and they can even trim your meat to your specifications, which isn't possible with Costco's prepackaged choices. There are often sales on expensive steaks at grocery stores, so you might be able to get a cut that would be good in a restaurant for a lot less money. In the end, Costco might have deals on big purchases, but that doesn't mean they're the best deals. If you're going to spend a lot of money, make sure you're getting the most for it. In the end, why buy in bulk if you end up paying more than you need to? Third place goes to Kirkland's signature bagels. For some everyday groceries, Costco's bulk buy method works great. But when it comes to bagels, it's a waste of time. You have to buy at least a dozen at a time, even if you know you won't be able to finish them. Since you didn't freeze them right away, they may go bad, become rock hard, or grow mold before you finish the pack. Bagels don't have many or any preservatives like regular bread does, so they only last a shockingly short time. You have to throw them away because after a few days, they start to dry out, lose their chewiness, and finally go bad. Also, be honest, are you really saving money if you throw away food all the time? Costco's promise to sell you a lot of bagels isn't helping you. Instead, it's smarter to buy them fresh from a bakery or food store in smaller amounts. Why is it better? Better taste and texture. Bagels from a good restaurant that were just baked have a golden, crispy crust, a better chew, and a richer flavor. Don't feel rushed to eat or freeze a dozen bagels before they turn into bricks and get hard. No feeling bad about throwing away food. You won't have to worry about perfectly good bagels going bad or moldy. You'll always have fresh, tasty ones when you want them. Because in the end, a deal that makes you throw away food isn't really a deal at all. Number 2. Soda in a can. It seems like a good idea to buy a lot of soda at Costco. You should save more money if you use more cans, right? Not right. One of the biggest money traps people fall into is thinking they're getting a deal when they're really just spending more than they need to. You're actually paying too much. There are often better deals on 12 and 24 packs at local grocery stores, big box shops, and even gas stations. Prices can drop by as much as 50% during big sales. Grocery store sales are better than bulk prices. Someone just bought the same amount of soda for a lot less at Walmart, Target, or Kroger by waiting for the right sale. A problem for storage. Where are you going to put that huge 36-pack? You don't need those big soda cases taking up space in your kitchen unless you have a second fridge or a closet just for them. The smarter move? Always look at sales at the grocery store first. Stores like Walmart, Target, Kroger, Walgreens, and CVS offer buy one get one deals, instant discounts, and loyalty benefits that make the price per can much lower. More choices, less commitment. At Costco, you can only buy one big pack of the same soda. But at grocery stores, you can mix and match tastes and even try limited editions. Better fizz and fresher soda. If you buy less soda more often, you'll always be drinking fresh soda instead of cans that have been sitting in storage for months. The truth is that a big deal that makes your life harder, costs more, and takes up more room isn't really a deal at all. First on the list are organic English cucumbers. This is without a question one of the most dishonest deals at Costco, but plenty of people still buy it. It seems like a good idea to buy a bunch of organic English cucumbers. Not as much money for more cucumbers? That sounds great. But here's the harsh truth. These cucumbers go bad faster than you think. Before you can use them all, they become slimy and mushy. Because they contain so much water, cucumbers are one of the most quickly spoiled foods. In just a few days, they go from being crisp and new to being soft, wrinkly, or moldy. You can store them in a crisper box, wrap them in paper towels, or use perforated bags, but they still won't last long enough for you to save money by buying them in bulk. The worst part? You've already wasted money on food you never even got to eat when you realize they've gone bad. If you go to a grocery store or farmer's market and buy cucumbers one at a time, you can pick out the freshest ones by hand and only bring home what you'll use. Instead of letting your cucumbers slowly go bad in the fridge, eat them when they are fresher, crispier, and more tasty. Don't waste food, save money, and get the best quality. A deal that makes you throw away food isn't a deal at all. These are 10 items from Costco that look like a good deal but end up costing you more in wasted money, anger, and sadness. You might have been shocked by some of these, but smart shopping is more than just looking for deals. It's also about making sure your money is well spent. Did a Costco item ever not live up to the hype that you heard about it? Or do you know of something else that should have been on this list? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Also, hit the like button before you leave. It helps this movie reach more smart shoppers like you. If you subscribe and turn on notifications, you'll never miss our best shopping tips, money-saving hacks, or product alerts. If you want to see more, just wait for the next show.